Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video. This one will be about, guess what, an acrylic pour with added sand. It is basically the last one in this series of the sand added pours which I did. And as it's like this, I wanted to ask you what you like the most. Did you like my videos more when I packed all my projects that I did in a row in just one video and super sped up everything? Or is it better and easier, nicer to watch when I make several single projects, like I did in this series here, in a much slower speed and probably easier to watch and see what I do. So please comment below what you like the most, just for me to see how I create my future upcoming videos. So if you want to have all the projects of one, let's say, theme sped up in one larger video, or just some smaller videos showing each single project that I did as a single piece, so to speak. Here, as usual, I will show you the colors that I've used. And basically these are the same colors as for the last project that I did. If you have not seen these projects, I will pop up some cards here in this video and you can click there if you want to see it. I suggest watching at least the number 1 video, as this gives more explanations about the colors that I use. As usual, my colors are mostly the Artina colors and some metallic colors. As usual, you can also find the product links down in the description box. They all will lead you to my German Amazon site. But in terms of the acrylic colors, you will have a store which is called Sergeant Art, so Sergeant like the painter and art, in your Amazon.com page, which at least looks quite similar to my Artina store here. I have applied to the Amazon.com affiliate program, but I am still uncertain about the tax situation there, so I will have to consult with someone who knows about foreign taxes. So until this issue is more or less settled, because I want to have it completely fine and safe for myself, I will also create you the links to your store, so that is easier for you to, well, shop in the US and don't have to wait that long for the products to arrive and to pay for a shipment and such. So this is going to come, but I'm not there yet, and I just do not want to enable the program with some mistakes or errors in there and end up facing issues with the taxes and stuff. So stay tuned, it will come as well, but it will take a couple of, I guess weeks, because of the Christmas season. There is a limited time, as you might know yourself. So back to the project. As you can see here, I also started again with an underpainting, and this was just some golden metallic color that I had left from my recent pour, and I just used it as a base color. Reason 1, because I do not really like wasting paint. Reason 2, if there is a gap in my paint which does not cover the entire canvas, there is at least a color underneath so that the white canvas is not showing through. This is something like a backup plan for me. When this was done, I used the colors that I actually had left from the 4 other pours that I did before, and this was a green, white, yellow and my sienna color, which I thought will look in a way nice in the end when I apply them on one project. And I wanted to just do some simple swipe, so nothing fancy, nothing difficult, just a regular swipe. And for the swipe color I wanted to use blue, as I did not want to use white to swipe or black to swipe, so let's be a bit more colorful and use blue this time. For swiping this project I used again my Yupo paper, which I've used in my previous projects before, so in case you did not see this, Yupo paper is just kind of plastic paper which does not soak water or paint into it. So if you apply paint or whatsoever onto it and you do not like it, you can just simply wash it off until it's dried, of course. And this is the beauty about it. If we would use just printer paper and use it to swipe, then the paper will be smeared with color, so you have to waste it in the end. The Yupo paper itself will keep its shape and you can wipe the color off, clean it with water, and everything is as it was before. Paper is clean again and just perfect. And it is a bit thicker than regular paper, so it has a stiffness and it does not warp or buckle or bend. And so this is really my go-to way to swipe when I have large areas to swipe. If I use a palette knife, it is a bit tricky to keep it still and have, well, an even coverage to the canvas. And this Yupo paper actually lays completely flat onto the color. You apply no pressure at all and just move it over the color and it will spread the color evenly. It will make nice effects. Just try it out. It doesn't have to be a Yupo paper. So if you just want to use copy paper or baking paper, whatever, something like that, it will work just very same. So I've used baking paper before, it works, but yeah, you just can keep the Yubo paper because you can clean it, which you cannot do with all the other papers. So once this wipe was done, I used my little tiny torch and torched it. This is just a little tiny torch. It does exactly the same thing as the larger torches for creme brulee and such do. It is just tiny. I thought it's cute, but it oftentimes does not really work, so you oftentimes might see me just pushing the activation button and nothing happens. This might be the reason because people thought it is some kind of spray bottle. It is not. It is just a regular torch, which oftentimes does not activate as I wanted to. Just go over it, torch it, and depending how much you stirred the paint, or also a bit how long the silicone was into the paint already, the smaller cells you will get. As this paint was already a couple of hours old, and it was stirred more than once, I guess, I will have many tiny cells, which you can see here, but it in a way looks pretty, and I did not want to have really large cells forming for this pour or this swipe anyways. So I torched over it, received many little tiny cells, and let it dry. And this drying basically went quite quickly because swipes always dry quicker than a flip cup, for example, because you have way less paint on the canvas than you have on a flip cup pour. But anyways, I waited until the next day, so to make sure that everything is completely dried. Then there was time again to add the scent. And to apply the scent, I just secure taped the areas which I did not want to cover, mixed my scent, which I already had mixed from the day before. It looks black here in the video. It was more or less a dark violet. So I just used the scent, my PVA glue and a dark violet ink. But this was more or less an ugly looking color, so I added a bit of the remaining black scent that I had available just to darken it down, but still having this violet color tint more or less, and applied this to the canvas. And again, as for the other projects, I started from the tape and spreaded the scent to the direction of the canvas where the scent actually is going to be in the very end. Also make sure to cover the edges just to give it a more genuine look, and then it is basically done. As I felt it was a bit too dark when I added the scent, and I know that it was going to dry a bit darker anyways, I decided to use my rest amount of my pink metallic color and just swiped it over the black sand or dark violet sand just to give it some more highlights. I did not know if it works or if it combines strangely with the sand, but I just wanted to try to see what happens, and it stood on top of it. It worked better than I actually expected, and let it dry. And the end result you can see here. It was really pretty. I really liked the effect, and it looked like kind of rainbow effect, so I called it over the rainbow. Clever, isn't it? And yeah, so if you're interested in getting these, I'm going to upload them to my Etsy store the next days, and yeah, would be happy to give them a nice home. So if you like, go there and check my Etsy store. Perhaps something that you would like to adopt for yourself. If you have any questions or comments, please leave below. I'm always happy about feedback, or if you have questions, I'm also happy to be answering them. If you're new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. And besides these acrylic pours, I also do some realism, which will come a lot more after Christmas when I'm able to show you all the Christmas commission stuff. If you want to get notified when I upload new videos, please click the bell icon. And other than that, I look forward to see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.